Hello everybody and welcome to day 212 of my journey to becoming the person that I want to be and a psychologist. Won't you look at that? Just 2 days passed since I recorded a video and I'm making another one. I have realized this one thing literally today that helped me the most with my self-improvement and with getting closer to my target, which is becoming the person that I want to be. And right now I am very proud of myself and I love myself. And I just think that I have this idea of being an even better person. There is a lot of flaws that I still need to work on. And safe to say that in the last 110-20 days, I wasn't really working on myself as much as I thought that I was going to. And I think that subconsciously I was kind of disappointed in myself for, not continuing on with what I said that I will do. And, there was a lot of changes in the way that I was recording my videos, because when I started, I said that I'm going to be recording a video every single day. Later on, I realized that I do not like that and that I should change it. And then when I allowed myself to change the fact that I don't need to record every day, I recorded once a week. And then literally like almost a whole month passed, or a whole month did pass, since I recorded another video before one was posted. So that is something that I think made me, care less about my self-improvement. I don't know, for some reason, when I start getting into my comfort zone and, I'm procrastinating and all of that, I feel like I cannot do the things that I wanted to do, especially in that moment. And the best thing for me is to comfort myself even more. So I am on my phone more, I am playing games more, I'm watching YouTube videos, TV shows, whatever. Nothing that is productive. So I must say, I honestly could have done so much better. But as I always said, the most important thing is for me to continue. It goes for everybody else too. It doesn't matter how many times you fail. You're actually succeeding because of that failure, because you learn from it, if you learn from it. The most important thing is that you keep going, because if you don't, then you've done nothing. So today I wanted to talk about something that I realized that helped me a lot, and that is patience. And I have another topic after that, but first of all, it's the patience. And when I talk about patience, I do not only mean be patient with, I don't know, waiting for the doctor to call out your name, or waiting for your food to arrive, or whatever. Just being patient in a sense of just waiting for everything, every single thing that is happening to you. I'm going to show an example. I'm going to draw something right now. So, there. We have 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's say you are here. That is you. And let's say that this is a forest. That's a very interesting tree, but you know what I mean. That's a forest. And in that forest, you're a person that found new land and wants to build a new town or your own house, doesn't matter. So you're basically searching for a good land. This here in the middle is a mountain. And if you're impatient, you would say, oh, okay, these trees are here, all of that, blah, blah, blah. I see a mountain in the distance, but I'm just gonna go with it and I'm gonna build a house here. So you build a house there. And it's okay. Not a lot of big things. You know, there's some wolves around, not many farm animals. It's an okay place. There's some snakes, maybe even some bears. And you decide to stay there. But if you were a patient person, you would wait and go all the way up to the mountain. So when you're on the mountain, you're going to see all of these points here. And let's say one of them has a nice river with another small town on the side. You know, you see some crops, something like that. Animals, you know, a much better place. On this side here, you have a desert. It's just a plain desert, nothing much. It looks like an ocean. But you know what I mean. And on the left side, I don't know. I'm gonna say a jungle. There is a big jungle, you know, big trees with leaves and monkeys and birds and whatnot. So, when you come up to this mountain, all the way up on it, you're going to see every single point that you have around you. So you now have, instead of one choice, you have four, which is a very important thing because this person that is here and that is trying to find a place to live is searching for something that is really like long term. You know, they want to stay in that place for a long time, for probably their whole life. So they, like, it took them, let's say, around 3 months to get up to that mountain. And now they can see all of these other places. And now they have a bigger choice. So, since this is a forest with some wolves and snakes and it's a bit dangerous, you know, it's still a forest. I mean, it's a nice place, but you have a river right here. And let's say you have a lake nearby as well. And you have a few houses, farms, and whatnot. You could make your own house here that's a bit further away from the other houses and, you know, live by yourself or even live with those people. If not, you can go to the jungle. But to be honest, the jungle is a jungle, it's more for the animals. But in that place, you have a lake and you have plain land and you have some trees on the side, you know, it's not fully empty. So that is, at least in my opinion, the best place where you can live. You also have some animals around, some wild animals. I mean, wild farm animals. You know, they're not captured and taken in and whatever. You can start a life there and make your own food and provide yourself water with the lake. And yeah, I mean, it's a much better place than a forest. So yeah, that's my example. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, whatever happens, especially when it is something that comes to like long-term things, you need to be really patient. You need to wait at least a couple of days, or it depends on the situation, depends on what we're talking about, but you need to wait and you need to step back. I talked about arguments before, and you know, I spoke about an argument that I had. And you know, the reason why I had that kind of perspective is because like 2 days passed since that argument with my best friend, and that's why I could have seen it in many different ways. That's why I went back and I wasn't like, okay, there's a forest around it, that's all I see, a forest, I'm gonna stay here, this is the right answer, that's it. No, 2 days passed. For me, that's me going up the mountain, thinking about everything that is around me, every single choice that I have, every single choice that I can get, and that I can, every single thing that I can do in that situation. And I'm trying to find out what is the best way of responding to that. And I'm not only looking at, also another metaphor, a tree. Just make a dumb tree. Bang. This is a this is a tree. And you know, I'm not looking at this part of this part of the tree. I'm not looking at a leaf that's like right here. I'm supposed to be looking at the roots, because that's where it all started. I'm supposed to be looking at the roots. I'm supposed to be looking at everything, every single little thing. Not about, okay, I see this now, and I'm not going to wait a little bit longer to check the whole tree. I'm just going to look at that leaf and I'm going to react to it. That is what a lot of people do, and I feel like the reason mostly is because people have just lost their patience with everything, and I believe that not many people are to blame. I feel like it is pretty difficult for you to just start, working on yourself and realizing some things, especially when your life isn't that bad to the point where you're like, okay, I need to change something. And when your life isn't that bad, you don't feel like you need to do any kind of self-improvement. And I feel like this is one thing that really changed everybody. It's the attention span. You see, it even started before TikTok, but now, because of those short videos and because of so many news popping up, it is much worse than it was before. And before, it was just, catching up with the news and whatever. And, I was just reading the book and the Concise Laws of Human Nature, and it said something about the crash of the Wall Street stock market. And everybody started playing in the stock market, and they were investing, and they kept hearing the ticket dings or something like that, and every person would react to it and see if anybody got anything. It makes you have a reaction, and you constantly are searching for it, and you're not really focusing on what is really important in your life. You're focusing on a lot of other things, and you're getting overwhelmed. Your brain is getting overwhelmed by so much information and so many emotions, especially now that you have TikTok and you have Instagram Reels and you have YouTube Shorts. It's everywhere. And it is because people implemented that because, well, it gives them money. And I've realized this one thing: a lot of businessmen are not really focusing on the welfare of people. They're focusing more on their product and how it's going to be appealing to other people, make it easier for other people to do stuff. You see, for example, Netflix implemented the automatic, play button. You don't even need to press a button. I mean, the next episode thing. It literally, there's a timer, and if you want to stop, you need to press the button. But if you don't, which is an easier thing to just not reach for the remote, it will keep going. It goes with Alexa and AI and all of that stuff. It makes you work less. You pay money in order for you to work less, which is an issue because at one point, you're not going to be able to do anything when you become older because, well, your brain didn't need to work. It goes as well with the entertainment. When I heard about this quote a long time ago, and I don't even know who was the first person to say it, but time is money. Time equals money. And I first thought of it as in like, oh yeah, you go to work and you get your money. But at the same time, all of the companies that are taking your time is giving them money. So the more time that those companies take away from you, the more money that they will get. And it is not a good thing, definitely. I feel like people started caring less about what they do, and they get into this state of just constant dopamine. And as I said, I'm not perfect, and I'm literally doing the same thing, and it is hard to just stop. At one point, I did not look at my phone for an hour or two, and it made me feel so much better because mornings are very important. But it is so addicting that when I start my day like that, it is hard for me to do anything else differently. However, today was a bit different. I did look at my phone in the morning, but today I was like, I'm gonna like read a book, I'm gonna calm down, I'm gonna do everything that I need to do. I'm gonna take a nice shower, fully clean myself, shave my beard, do everything well, slowly, just focus on that and let the day go. Not let the day, like, not go in a sense of like watch videos and whatever, but like do something during my day, actually like use my brain. I got by my nose so itchy. Also, another thing that really did change how I act and how I think, which I think that a lot of people need to work on, is this. I'm gonna again use my whiteboard because, well, I didn't use it in a while and I missed it. Actually, no, I'm not gonna make a person out of this. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna make two sides. One side, you know, one side, you don't. So, these are the things that you pay attention to. The tick is, of course, the one that you know, and X is the one that you don't. So, let's say in the tick, I don't know, you're watching the news, TikToks, whatever. So, you know, memes, you know, about the war, Palestine, Mars, McDonald's, phones, AI. So, you know all of these things, right? And of course, it will help you when you're online and you know you have information about all of that. But there is something that, as I said, people do not focus on because honestly, this gives you dopamine. This is like shock videos, as in like shock news, like, oh my god, this guy died, that guy died, this country blew up the nuclear power plant of this country, blah 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 blah. Memes are funny, so you can connect with your friends more. I'm not saying that you should never pay attention to these things. These are just some things that a lot of people focus on much more than this. Conflicts. Formal speaking. Respect. Patience. What else? What problems do people have? Just, okay, understanding of the human knowledge and so on and so forth. So, when you have all of these things that you know, and you have conflicts, you have formal speaking, you have respect, you have patience. People mostly learn about this when they're kids. And that's the problem. See, when you're a kid, you cannot understand things to that extent. You cannot understand it where it's like, it's basically your parent just tells you that you have to do this and that because, well, that's the way of, that's good manners, that is being respectful, that is this, that is that. And you know, of course, later on you know why you should be respectful and why you have good manners and so on and so forth. However, there is one thing that I did realize: when you start having an open mind, you really focus on everything, not just open mind about, oh, I'm gonna think about, somebody tells me to do something and now I have the free will and an open mind to actually see if I should listen to that person or if I should not. You know, being open-minded comes to everything. It comes to you trusting the media, you trusting the news, you having your own personal opinion on some things, you having an open mind and you understanding how other people think and how you should act towards those people. And I feel like the most important thing before any of that happens is peace. That's the second thing I wanted to talk about, the like what people focus on more, and I feel like they should focus on what's in front of them, not what's on Mars. I mean, how are you even 100%? You can't be 100% sure that they went actually to Mars. A lot of times, and it was an extreme amount of times, every country, not every country, but especially the big countries, lied about many things in order to control people, in order to tell them that what is right and what is wrong, which misleads everybody. I mean, you can see now in the Israel versus Palestine, you could see what Israel is doing. There's actual videos, and you know that it's not AI because you know how AI videos look like. There's children being shot and killed, children and women, and literally every single innocent person over there. A genocide is happening. But a lot of people still follow still support Israel. And I'm not gonna talk about that too much because I don't want to get political or whatever. But, I'm gonna make a better example that is less controversial. Here in Serbia, we have a president, of course. We have a president that is not a very good person. Because of his wanting to take more money for the country and our country being corrupt, he didn't build a train station or metro station or some kind of a station. He didn't build it well. And because of that, it collapsed and killed 16 people. It crushed them. It crushed the whole family. This person, that person, I forgot their names. But it was 16 people altogether. 16 people lost their lives. And, a lot of young people, they have the freedom to see the media and to talk about things that are happening and to have the openness of, having a social media where everybody can talk about everything. They're not following the news or whatever. The news are actually all being controlled by the president. And in the news, on the TV, mostly more than 50% of our population in Serbia is old people. It's people who are living on pension and are, well, since there is more than 50% of them, those are the most important people for the presidents because of elections and because of voting. So our president really focuses on them and is giving them an increase in pension every couple of months and is spilling faulty news, not that are just incorrect and lies. There was evidence that there were lies and that it wasn't right. And because the old people do not use Instagram or whatever, they don't really know what is going on. So in their mind, they're like, oh, our president is great. He's giving us money. I can give more money to my children, to my grandchildren, whatever. So they're like, oh, our president is amazing. We love him. He's giving us everything. In reality, he's not. So yeah, I got a bit sidetracked. But what I want to say is, I feel like what should be the priority, especially for young people who are supposed to start making a new kind of life, getting a job, at one point, probably getting married, having kids, depends on them. I feel like they should focus on that much more than what is going on in the world. You could see the news, you could see the memes. Of course, I'm not saying that you shouldn't rest. You should rest. You should rest. Every single human should rest, but not to the point where you're like me, where I'm like, I have 8 hours of screen time, 7 on a weekly average, which is awful. I feel like a lot of people should, really try to focus on a lot of things that they went through. And trust me, I feel like if every person would start thinking about all of the past conflicts and all of the things that were happening in their life, I think that they would maybe understand. I think that they would have fun. It would be interesting to see where you were wrong and what is the right way of thinking, because honestly I feel like everybody would be proud of themselves if they were like that. But anyways, it has been 25 minutes. I feel like I've talked more than enough. Yeah, I had a lot of passion for this topic, so I spoke about it a lot. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna be recording another video soon, maybe with the same amount of passion as I am having now. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. I'm very hungry. I'm gonna go eat lunch and enjoy my day. I might also do something else that's productive. But yeah, this is another step forward. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.